Rant and resolution. This is where I rant and then I resolute. Today's rant is coming from a viewer who asked, how do you get, or what is the quickest way to get to 6 or 7 or 8% body fat? And is there any specific diet that will get you there the fastest? Although I am addressing the quickest way to get to 6 or 7 or 8% body fat, the methods that I'm going to discuss are actually applicable for all levels of body fat goals. So if you're a woman who wants to go from 25 to 20% body fat, or a male who wants to go from 15 to 10% body fat. Realistically speaking, there's not going to be too many people who want to get to 7 or 8% body fat because of the trauma that you have to go through to get there, but it can be applied to any other goals. So first, the questions that I often get asked are, what is the quickest way to get there, and what is the best diet to get there? So first, addressing the diet to get there. Is there a specific diet that's going to get you there faster than others? Yes, certainly, but it's all down to caloric balance and what you can attain to. So there's going to be some questions that you have to ask yourself before you pick a particular diet, and these questions are: 1. Am I making progress? Am I progressing? Am I making, am I losing body fat on the diet, or am I just spinning my wheels? Of course, we need to be making progress week to week or month to month in order to get to our goal. 2. Can I stick to the plan? If you can't stick to the plan, it doesn't matter how much progress you're making, you're never going to get to your end goal. So these two are intertwined. If you're not making progress, you're never going to get to your goal. And if you're not adhering to the plan over long term, you're never going to get to your goal. 3. Is the diet sustainable? Can you sustain it long term? Obviously, you want to maintain your new body fat range when you get there. You don't want to get there and then blow back up to your, original body fat percent. There's a lot of diets that are going to get you there really fast, or get you down to low body fat fast, such as drinking shakes or just eating one meal of very low calories, or juice diets, etc. They're going to shred the weight off you very, very fast. But are you changing your long-term eating habits? Are you going to be able to maintain it once you get there? The likelihood is that you're not. So we want to make some changes that are allowing us to maintain this new body weight when we get there. Okay, so we know that the diet has to address these 3 questions that I just went over, but how do you know what diet is going to work for you? Well, I can't really say exactly. It's up to you to decide, and I made a previous video on how to choose different ways to track your diet. It's here, so check that out and have a look. Gregory O'Gallagher, also known as Kino Body on YouTube, made a great video on how to get to 6 or 7% body fat, but what he discussed is that you got to count your macros and you got to count your calories. And I don't really agree with this, because I know that counting macros and calories is not for everybody, but there is still ways that you can get to your desired body weight goal or body fat percentage goal by following one of the methods that I discussed in my previous video. Alright, so we've selected a diet plan or a diet strategy that's going to get us our results, going to be maintainable when we get there, and it's also going to give us progress week to week or every 2 weeks or so, but it's going to get us there in the long term. But now we got to ask ourselves the second question: how fast can I get there? Everyone wants to get there really fast. They want the shredded abs, they want the defined arms, that jawline in peace. They want to get there as fast as possible. What's the quickest way to lose weight? How can I tell you the quickest way to lose weight? Of course, don't eat. But I'm guessing that the majority of people who are watching this video are going to want to maintain as much muscle mass as possible, but while still losing fat as fast as possible. So how do we do that? Well, for the sake of this video, I'm just going to pick a 200-pound male at 15% body fat who wants to get to 7% body fat. So let's call our subject Mike. So Mike is a 200-pound male at 15% body fat, so that means he has 30 pounds of fat on his frame and 170 pounds of fat-free mass. So if he got to 0% body fat, of course he'd be dead, but he would be at 170 pounds. So how fast can Mike get to his goal of 7% body fat, or how fast should Mike get to his goal of 7% body fat while still maintaining all that hard 170 pounds of lean mass that he's gained? So the studies have shown that the quickest rate to lose fat while still maintaining the optimal or the most amount of muscle possible is 0.5 to 1% of your total body weight per week. So it's total body weight per week. So for Mike, that would be 1 to 2 pounds per week. So of course, Mike can lose at a higher rate than 0.5 to 1% of his body weight per week, or 1 to 2 pounds per week. If he goes above this, the propensity to lose lean body mass or some of this 170 pounds becomes greater and greater. So if he loses, say, 2% a week, the likelihood that is he's going to, of course, lose some fat, but he will start to lose some lean muscle as well. So that's exactly what we want to avoid. So now that we know that the start goal, the lean body mass or the fat-free mass that he has, and the rate of 1 to 2 pounds per week, what is the end goal that you want to get to? Okay, so if he has 170 pounds of fat-free mass and he wants to get to 7% body fat, what we simply do is multiply 170 by 1.07, which turns out to be about 182 pounds. So that's the goal weight of 182 pounds. We want to get from 200 to 182 pounds. Let's just square it off at say 180 pounds, because some of it's going to be water weight, some of it's going to be glycogen, and some you will lose a little bit of muscle even if you stick to this lower end. So we'll just round it off to 180 and say that he has to lose 20 pounds to get to the goal body percent of 7% body fat. So at a rate of 1 to 2 pounds per week, that's going to be 10 to 20 weeks. 10 to 20 weeks to get to his goal of 7% body fat at 180 pounds. So the fastest way that Mike get to 7% body fat at 180 pounds is 10 to 20 weeks at a rate of 1 to 2 pounds per week. So of course, if you lose 2 pounds per week, that's going to be 10 weeks, and if you lose 1 pound per week, that's going to be 20 weeks. Fat loss is not always linear. Some weeks you're not going to lose as much, other weeks you lose slightly more. But if you just stay on track week to week, day to day, eventually you will reach the goal. If you're aiming to do a slower cut, you're going to probably hold on to more muscle. The faster you go, the higher probability that you'll lose some muscle mass. But this is the safe range that you can diet within. Again, if you're going to be dieting, say 10%, what you do is simply multiply your lean body mass or your fat-free mass by 1.0 or 1.1, which is 10%. So you have your fat-free mass plus 10%. If you want to diet to 12%, you simply multiply it by 1.12, and that'll get you your goal weight. I'll leave a link in the description box of a fat-free mass calculator. To get your body fat, you're never going to be exact, but at least you have some knowledge. And now you kind of know like how long your diet's going to take. So you have some idea of how long it'll take you to reach your goal. Alright, so we know there's no particular diet that's going to get us to our goal by itself. We got to pick something that we can stick to, that we can be consistent with, that's going to give us results, and that we can maintain once we get there. In your pursuit of aesthetic hedonism, make sure to follow them 3 guidelines, and make sure that you only lose between 0.5 to 1% of your body weight per week. Follow them and you will reach your goals. That is my rant and resolution. If you liked the video, like, comment, share, subscribe. Peace out. Bye.